What is up, soccer friends? Welcome to Kickback Committee. We're glad you're here. I'm your host, Susannah Fuller, and we have a very special episode today because we had some scheduling conflicts with our committee members. Doyle was supposed to be on this episode, but he's traveling, and then Jordan is busy doing one of her 5,000 jobs that she has, so I had to do a little recruiting this week, and I needed to find a suitable mid-season transfer, and I really think I knocked it out of the park because my husband, head coach of One Knox, Ian Fuller, is joining me on committee this week. Hi, Ian.
How are you? I'm happy to be here. And, I'm the reliever. I'm bringing in the righty,
I'm so lucky. I mean, just the fact that I can, pull from the reserves like this and get you is something special.
Anytime for the committee.
Really appreciate it. This is going to be fun.
Yes.
I was saying to our producer, Douglas, that I've had this idea for a couples podcast for a while. And so I was like, this could be our dry run.
I'm working at it. I mean, listen, my personality is not great.
You always say that
on camera, so I'm working at it.
It's funny though, because we had a committee Zoom call today, and I was telling them that you were going to be on, and everyone was so excited. They're like, "Oh, well, at least it's so rare you get a coach with personality," and so they think that you have.
Maybe they look at it like watching a car crash. They're just like they can't turn away.
No, I will say you've gotten better.
Okay, thank you. I've been working at it. I've learned from the best.
Well, stick with me, kid. That's what I always say. So we're going to chat with you about a whole lot of things. Obviously, it's a big week for you and One Knox coming up, but a lot to get to in this episode. Just a reminder, guys, Kickback Committee is part of Kickback Soccer Media. You can find us on the socials, Blue Sky, Instagram. Also, make sure you check out our other podcasts, Soccer Wise and First Touch Weekly, which is a World Cup specific show blending inclusive storytelling with topical deep dives and evergreen segments. Also, we are now on SiriusXM, so make sure you check us out on the SiriusXM app or catch us on select days on SiriusXM FC. All right, so obviously Ian is here, which means we're going to chat on One Knox, their incredible US Open Cup run that continues this week in Columbus, Ohio. And I also brought in another reliever today. My very good friend, Charlie Davies, joined me because I don't know if you know this about Charlie, but he is also an Arsenal fan. Yeah, I know. We still love him, but it's been a kind of a precarious time for Arsenal fans as of late. And with Champions League semifinals kicking off this week, we thought it'd be a good time to kind of check in on an Arsenal fan and see how they're doing, because Manchester City is now breathing down their neck in the Premier League title race. Big implications with Champions League semifinals. They're looking for the trophy. They had a chance to win 4 at one point. They're down to 2. Squeaky bum time. Yeah. Squeaky bum time. So we're going to chat with him as well. But Ian, let's get into One Knox.
Let's do it.
Shall we? Okay, so
from Arsenal to One Knox.
I mean, we cover the gamut
Let's
here
go.
On committee. That's the beauty of this show.
I love it.
I think. Right?
Yeah. I mean, we're rich in history in American soccer. At least we're headed in that direction, especially with the Open Cup coming.
Thank you.
My favorite competition.
You love Open Cup competition. I love Open Cup competition. I love that on these broadcasts they have been showing your goal against DC United.
I was hoping that was
in the final
somewhere
from 2008. It's been awesome because it keeps resurfacing, and every time it does, my phone explodes because everyone's like, "Oh, they just showed Ian's goal again," and I'm like, "Yes, let's go!" It's so cool. But obviously, on the heels of that historic takedown of DC a couple weeks ago, which I'm sorry, producer Douglas, who is a DC United fan, he was at that game. He did say though that since that loss for them in PKs, DC have turned it around.
We did him a favor. So I'll just put it that way.
Yeah. So yeah, you're welcome, DC United fans. But babe, I mean, I wasn't there in person to watch it. I have so many regrets about not deciding to make that trip to DC to watch that one in person, because I was watching at a bar in Miami with David Goss, who was the best hype man, and we basically got an entire bar to cheer for One Knox. They were so into it. It was great. But because we talked about it so much, and like there was zero expectations for you guys.
Yes, no. I mean, I know we have our expectations, yes. No question.
From the outside,
we had nothing,
optics.
It felt like we had nothing to lose. So when you go into a game like that and feeling like you have nothing to lose, with the excitement of being in an MLS stadium alone for some of these guys, it was really fun to see their reaction to all that. I mean, I experienced it, a few times, and to see their reaction to it, and just to play on nice grass like that, and then to come out and be so proud of the way they played. It was a great night for the club. It was
awesome. I was so overcome with pride. Like I just, and exactly, they fought so hard, and they went toe to toe with a team that is 2 divisions above them. There was a guy on their roster, Goss pointed it out, that was like, they got him for like $9 million. Like the whole budget for One Knox's roster is like,
no, it's not even a tenth of that.
Not even a tenth of that. So it was just such a incredible performance.
I mean, clearly I was proud of the result for the guys, but the way it happened too, we fought in every which way. We didn't start particularly well, and we had to knuckle down and just kind of get through it. We knew we were going to suffer, but the way we played, I mean, there were moments where I thought we were the better team 100%. For sure. I just thought all phases of the game, the guys competed, went behind twice, fought back, and our guys they fought through it, and I was so proud of them. Berkey coming up big after a little bit of an error during the match. It just had it all, that match. But it's now in the past. We're going to move on to Wednesday, so I'm very excited.
Savor that victory. So, you talk about the experience for these guys, like walking into an MLS stadium. Mm-hmm. I can imagine, and I will say, like, Covenant Park is great. It's a baseball stadium, though. Like, the reality is One Knox plays at a baseball stadium. These soccer-specific new stadiums in MLS are spectacular. You and I have been very fortunate enough to see most of them. Columbus is probably boasts, I think, the best of the soccer specific stadiums.
Yeah, I would say it's in the top 3. That, and we love Cincy, but it's a great stadium.
It's incredible. Yeah. And so, for these guys, once again, they're going to have that experience of walking out. How, like, as a coach, how do you let that moment not be too big for them? Because I feel like it can either be like, wow, this is incredible, or, oh my God, this is so intimidating.
This is meant as no disrespect to DC Stadium, but it was like a good kind of building block to get to Columbus, because that stadium is just something else.
Yeah.
Even these guys walking out in DC at Audi Field, the amount of staff they have, and it's just intense. It really is, for a lot of these guys, and that's why I was so proud of them. They just stood right up and went toe to toe, got punched in the face, and then just kept going. But yeah, it's going to be a different animal. That stadium is something else. Columbus are playing really well at the moment. But I trust our guys. I really do. I trust our staff. I'm really excited for the match.
It's been, obviously, I live this firsthand with you. And so I can sit here and attest to the rigors of this schedule that you guys are on right now in USL League One, because you're balancing not only regular season, you're these Open Cup games. You've got the USL Cup games, which you just had at the weekend in Tulsa. Yep. I mean, you have been, you were in Portland, and then you were in Sarasota, and then where else have you been? I'm in DC.
Yeah.
And then Tulsa at the weekend, and then you're going to Columbus tomorrow. It is so much. It's so much.
Yeah. I'm glad that you scheduled me on the pod, because we haven't seen each other.
No, I know.
So this has just been fun to talk
It was actually the motivation.
Yeah, exactly.
I was like, well, I have to work. So it's bring your husband to work today.
Yeah, listen, it's been a lot. There's no question about it. But we know this is part of it. And we'd rather have matches than not. It means we're still in competitions.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's going to be nice to get through this week, and we're going to have a little bit of a break and kind of just refresh and see where we're at. But
how are guys feeling physically?
Yeah, it's a challenge. You think, oh, Tulsa to Knoxville, not that, but it took us 9 hours to get home.
A long layover in Dallas.
We need Gus to lend us his private jet. That would be nice.
Gus.
The PJ. So
the hell.
But no, we're excited. We're actually going to bus to Columbus. It's quicker to bus than to
Which
fly.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
Like my U.S. geography is apparently terrible because I didn't know that it was only a 5-hour drive.
Right, that's why we got GPS, baby. No, we're going to get there and train and go to their facility. And again, all of it's just going to be so eye-opening for our guys.
Yeah.
And try to make them feel as comfortable as possible. So
what about like squad rotation? Because it's you kind of have to go for it. You have to go for it in this competition. And that might, knowing that you have to then go to Naples at the weekend for regular league play, like how much does that weigh on you as a head coach?
Especially the way we play, Sooz, with intensity. And, we're quite demanding as a staff. We're asking a lot of these guys and we want to do well in the Prince, Cup as well and started off really well in Tulsa this weekend. But yeah, we rotated a little bit. We got some guys some rest that needed it. Finn played every minute the week prior. So we gave him a bit of a break the other night and he'll go again on Wednesday. So you give these guys a little bit of a break, but the reality is they want to play.
Yeah.
And that's the hardest part about Wednesday is picking a team. Because, we had some injuries on the weekend. Some guys will stay home and a little gutted for them.
Yeah.
But that's why we've got a squad.
Yep.
And that's what I'm excited about.
Yep. Can we talk about penalty shootouts?
Yep.
Because you guys are now 3 for 3 in penalty shootouts. It's incredible.
Yeah.
You've just not only have the actual penalty kicks been really, really well taken for the most part. Your goalkeeping has been extraordinary. So John Burke, who has been the starting goalkeeper in US Open Cup, came up huge in Asheville. Obviously, we know what he did in DC. And then at the weekend against Tulsa, Johan Garibay, who is your starter, made 3 saves in a penalty shootout. So is this something, like, how much are you guys focusing on?
Focus, zero.
Shootouts?
We don't train it. We train on turf.
Do the guys don't take PKs?
No, we don't train it.
What?
We give them the freedom to be as confident as can.
Wait, because they have taken, like, even like Eli Conway, who is this like kid, steps up and takes these penalty kicks so professionally and with such confidence. I thought for sure that would have been something you guys
we don't I let them do it on their own if they want to. I found as a player back in the day, the more I trained to do it, the worse I got, and it got more heady for me. We're really comfortable with our goalkeepers. They're big men and powerful, and you put that on the combination of them reading guys' hips and doing a lot of research. Our goalkeeping coach does a lot of research for them. So you have great faith in that.
Yeah.
And then the guys just be confident over the ball. If you remember the Asheville game, we missed quite a few and relied on Berkey a lot. So the good thing is when one person may be down, the other's picking them up. And that's what I love about it.
That's what's being a team.
That's right, Sooz.
A team.
We trust them all. I trust every single one of our guys.
Oh.
And I love
that's really beautiful. I love that. So I don't know if you saw today, One Knox put out a video on their socials.
I didn't. I was we were off training, but I'll check it out.
You're not on Instagram when you're coaching?
I try to be, but I can't multitask. No,
in today's world,
I know.
Like I feel like you should actually be live streaming.
Let's do it. Maybe 2.5 bombs.
That could
not be good.
That could be our money maker, babe. That's
go.
Our retirement right there. No, so One Knox put out this video, and it was really cool because they had a clip of your halftime talk.
Oh God.
Of the DC game. Which I thought was awesome because I'm your wife.
You are.
I love you.
Thankfully.
And obviously I see a different side to you. And there's been so many times, because I watch all your games, where I'm like, God, I wonder what he is saying to the guys at halftime right now. Because I know what I'd be saying, or I think I know what he's saying. But this was an actual look at what the message you were giving to your guys. And against DC, you basically kind of challenged them. You said, were we the better team? One of them said, yes. And you're like, does it matter? No. And it was basically like, you know, saying like this mentality, like you have to take that into the second half.
Yeah, I
You
think
can't let up. But it was such a I don't know, it was such a cool peek behind the curtain. But I loved, it felt like the buy-in was there.
Well, to put some context behind that, we had just headed one off the line. I'm sorry, onto the crossbar, and it dipped behind the line and then out. The
Goss and I said it was a goal.
Right, and it certainly was. And so the disappointment, I think, from our guys going in there, even though they were very confident the way we were playing, you have to snap them out of that. And now, like the reality is like it's no. Yeah. So that was the goal. And listen, this is just motivation for these guys to try to come out well. Coaching's a lot of propaganda. You know, we can think we have such an effect on the game, but the reality is these guys have the effect on the game completely.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not like in basketball, you can call a timeout.
No, like, I want to sometimes, but it's just not the reality of it. So to give them the capabilities and the skills and just the tools to go into that second half, that was a goal. And that's always a goal.
So same approach against Columbus. I know you said that they present different challenges, obviously tactically and the way they play, but you know, as a team, are you just kind of embracing the moment and sort of throw all caution to the wind?
I think embracing is part of it for sure, but there's a side of it just like if we try to embrace this too much and then they're like, oh, this is just like, you know, let's just enjoy it. No, we're going to win. There's no question about it. You know, we're prepared for it. Our guys are fit for the most part. You know, we know it's coming tactically. We'll see what team they put out, but we're not in control of that. So I can't wait. I wish we could kick off right now, but we got a few days to get there, and we're going to win.
What is it? What would it mean? What would it mean?
Well, amazing. Honestly, like even just coming back from Tulsa the other day, you know, fans are coming up and asking for pictures from the guys, and the guys haven't experienced that here in Knoxville. So I think the run's done a lot.
My husband got recognized in a Taco Bell in Seymour, Tennessee.
Now you just told everyone that Taco Bell fans. You know what? I'm not ashamed of it.
Well, I was going to say, why would we hide that?
Yeah,
we love Taco Bell, but like that's the thing. Like, and if you saw Seymour, Tennessee, it's a very rural community, and the fact that you know, Coach Fuller walks in and gets recognized, I think is so cool.
Properly for us.
Seymour.
There you go. Thank you. Yeah, no, listen, it's really big for the club to go on this kind of run, to have the success. The thing is we're not done. Like this, we're just getting a taste of it, and we have to maintain that standard.
You keep setting the bar very high, Ian.
I don't, Sooz. It's the players.
It makes me nervous as your wife because I'm like, well, geez, like how?
No,
I mean, seriously, coming off of last season, you guys win the double, you know, and it was unbelievable. I'm so proud of you. Your first year as a head coach, and it just feels like you keep like hitting these milestones, and so it's like, oh my goodness, like what's next? Like, you know, how are you going to define success?
It's one of the reasons why we chose this job is that our visions with the ownership align. Yeah, you know, we want to not just compete, we want to raise the standard of the club and winning. But doing it the right way. You know, we have the most amazing guys, the most amazing staff. The front office is just full of just wonderful people. So that aligned, and the players want to win. It just we had to get that confidence out of them, and once we've hit it, that's our standard now, and they know that we can't drop.
Cupset.
Oh, Sooz, come on.
Cupset.
We want to go and perform well.
Hey, guess who's going to be there this time? Your wife.
I hope you're not
cheering my face off.
Yeah, that's right. You painting your face.
I'm gonna paint my face. What if I did?
It's like the sign.
Just like woo! Free. Everyone's like, "Is that your wife?"
Yes, happily.
Calm down.
Nope.
Oh, I'm so pumped, babe.
Be fun.
So pumped.
Yep.
Okay, we're gonna turn our attention to another topic. Okay, I realized this yesterday. I think. Do you know what basically happened exactly a year ago?
A year ago,
in the soccer world.
Oh shoot! A year ago wouldn't have been FA Cup. Wouldn't have been. I couldn't tell you.
Liverpool clinched the title.
Already?
Yeah.
No way, Jose.
Yes, I looked back at my phone. It was
Wow.
literally, I know, because they clinched it with like 4 games
Man,
left.
that seems a long ways off.
Oh
from where you are
God,
right
I
now.
know. Believe me,
You know.
believe me, I know. Yeah, man, this season has sucked. Whatever.
You know what? I'll take a stinky season and finish in the top 4.
Yeah,
So come on.
I guess just the worst title defense. Can we just agree?
No, there's got to be worse.
I don't know. It's pretty poor.
Listen, you could have gone down to League One like Leicester. So come on, let's be positive.
Oh, Bill Barnwell. Okay, so yeah, Premier League title was clinched a year ago,
Mhm.
and right now the team sitting on top of the standings is Arsenal.
Mhm.
Okay. They're on top by 3 points after beating Newcastle at the weekend. I'm sorry, babe.
No, our season's over. It's
Yeah.
been over.
Ian's a Newcastle fan, for those that didn't know. So we are a house divided.
I am a
but
current
not really.
Newcastle fan.
Yeah.
Am I wavering? I don't know. I'm not happy
Okay.
with the club.
Well,
but
we can talk about that another episode.
yeah, I've been unhappy with the club for a while. But what are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? These are the breaks. Okay, so Arsenal are on top, but Manchester City is once again breathing down their necks. At one point back in February, they were 9 points clear at the top of the table. It felt inevitable. It felt like this thing was kind of done and dusted. But a few things happened. Arsenal started dipping in form, and Manchester City went and had a couple big signings.
It feels a little deja vu-ish.
Yeah.
You know, City have an amazing tendency from January on to just like ramp it up a little bit. And then Arsenal, historically in the last 5-10 years,
bottle jobs.
I think there's just a lot of scar tissue there. And I think you can see, I'm not saying desperation on Arteta's face.
Did you see him this weekend?
The energy, by the way, this is from afar. It just, maybe it rubs off on the guys. Do you know?
I think so.
But I will say, tactically, they've adjusted a little bit to where they're playing a bit deeper.
Yeah.
They're very difficult to break down, and they've got so much quality. So,
so City have a game in hand.
They do.
And they beat them 2 weekends ago. So now it's almost like they're basically even on goal differential.
It's tight.
It's really tight. But you know, and if you look at their remaining schedules, I would say I think Arsenal have probably the more favorable remaining matchups. But again, you know, City are just kind of finding this second gear at the right time. So
does it help that City aren't competing in the Champions League?
Exactly.
Yeah, and I think that's got to be
100%. And so, for context too, Arsenal were talking about going for a quadruple trophy season, like a month ago, and now it's down to 2 with the Premier League title and Champions League, the only 2 left in play. Winning both of those, either of those, would be a successful season.
Yeah, and no disrespect to Southampton, but you know, City played Southampton on the weekend in the FA Cup semi-final. Arsenal, I mean, what they're facing in the Champions League, you know, it's this adding 2 more matches.
I know
it's going to be hard.
I know, and they have a tough tie coming up against Atletico Madrid, who, you know, maybe on paper aren't the
heart,
best,
Sooz.
But it's the heart, it's the cojones, the
Simeone.
Simeone.
I mean, that's a side no one wants to play against.
No. So this is going to be this is like squeaky bum, very Arsenal-esque times. If you follow Arsenal fans, if you have friends who are Arsenal fans, you know that they are in a pickle right now. It's been very,
we
very
say
tense.
That you'd rather be them than not them.
100%. No, champagne problems.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just there's a lot of PTSD there and a lot of scar tissue.
Yes.
So but you still have to feel confident about it. They're in the 2, you know, biggest competitions they can play.
Yeah, it's true. Well, on that note, I thought it would be my very, very good friend Charlie Davies happens to be an Arsenal fan. And one of the things I love about Chuck is that he has the ability to be fairly objective. Like, I feel like he's going to be very real with me about where he's at with this Arsenal team right now, where the Arsenal faithful are as a whole. So I had a little catch up with him,
right.
And picked his brain. So let's hear that conversation. Time now to welcome in my very dear friend and Arsenal diehard, Charlie Davies. Hi, Charlie.
Hello. So nice to see you.
It is so amazing to see you. Arsenal chat aside, before all that, I just want to tell you how much I adore you. And I think that you are one of my favorite humans in the entire universe. And that's why for me, I'm always like, Charlie Davies is an Arsenal fan? Like, how does that line up? Why Arsenal, Charlie? Why Arsenal?
So I didn't get to watch the Premier League until the early 2000s. And, whether that's because we didn't have a satellite or, to watch the game, the exposure that I received was very limited. It was the World Cup. And then I could watch Major League Soccer starting from 1996, which was the first league I ever watched. But it was one player in particular, and that was Thierry Henry, that had caught my eye as a striker, as someone who looked a little bit like me. And so I wanted to be Thierry Henry. And so naturally I started to follow Arsenal, and I loved red. So there was just a number of elements that made it my club, so to speak, versus Manchester United. So it was really one of the two.
I applaud you for not choosing Manchester United, by the way. We are united on that front.
Yes. So that's how it came to be. And I've loved the philosophy at Arsenal under Arsene Wenger, the way that they play, the style of play. And it just felt that it was more of an attack-minded, free-flowing squad that I could really identify with.
Yeah, and that all makes sense. And I will say, like, the Arsene Wenger teams and the Invincibles, I mean, it's impossible not to have the utmost level of respect for the way they played. And it was just beautiful. And they fought so hard. Like, you just knew that they were not going to be beat. And so when I think about those Arsenal teams, I'm like, yeah, like, I get it. Like, I 100% get it. So, which brings us to today, Chuck, because Arsenal currently are sitting on top of the table, but it's a bit precarious right now. And it has been for the last couple months. I mean, back in February, they were 9 points clear, I think, at the top of the table. And it seemed like it was done and dusted, right? At that point, back in February, when you guys were 9 points clear, did you feel the nerves starting to creep up because we have seen them relinquish these type of leads before? Or were you like, no, this team is going to hang on to this. This team is capable of taking it over the finish line?
I'll remain reserved here because I do believe that they had enough of a lead to not concede the title. So I thought at that stage, and we've seen them with a 7-point lead in the past, but they're playing above their quality at the moment. And, at this stage, Manchester City were still a wreck, but they had made two key signings in Antoine Semenyo and Mark Guéhi. I knew Mark Guéhi had the quality to come settle in and be one of the top center backs in the league. I wasn't sure about Antoine Semenyo's ceiling because we had seen him at Bournemouth. It's very north-south, a really physical, strong, and the timing of his runs are tough to track. He's tough to deal with. But in terms of like continuing to develop and turn into maybe something else and raise his level, I thought, I'm not so sure. He's turned into an absolute phenomenon on top of Ryan Cherky proving that he's the guy. So as they continue to produce, I thought, this doesn't look good, because ultimately I felt Pep Guardiola had to have his squad focus on one competition. Mm-hmm. And I didn't think Champions League was realistic, but the Premier League was realistic if they won that game against Arsenal, the big 6-pointer. And here we are. There's still a chance to win the Premier League title. It's not over by any means.
Of course not.
But
and you guys have a pretty forgiving schedule the rest of the way.
Yes.
It's not terrible. Like
It's
these are
not terrible
all
at
very
all.
winnable matches for Arsenal.
Yes. But at the same time, I would have said Bournemouth at home is a winnable match, you know, so there's always that. But the way that Arsenal are set up, I could see them winning the Champions League because, and which would be a massive accomplishment. I remember when we had this conversation with Liverpool, it was Premier League or Champions League, and they didn't win the Premier League, but they won the Champions League. And it's like, oh my God, incredible. But then it came to a point where he said, the Champions League is cool and all, and it's great for the club, but we want the Premier League.
So what do Arsenal fans want? Would they rather have a Champions League title or a Premier League title this season? If you had to choose.
I think if you had the choice, I think an overwhelming number of Arsenal supporters would say that the Champions League, because it's never been done.
Yeah.
It's always a conundrum when you're comparing the two, because there's just something special about winning that Premier League title over a 38 match campaign and the ups and downs and how difficult it is, especially since Arsenal last won it with the Invincibles in 2004. So you just feel it's been too long without a Premier League a league title. But to say you get your first European Champions League trophy, I mean, there's something to say about that. By the way, we've kind of watched them along since we started with morning footy, and they were competing in the Europa League, getting knocked out by Sporting. And then we see them get to the quarterfinals against Bayern, and then they get to the semifinals against PSG. It just feels like the natural next step is getting to a final. And in a one-off match against a Bayern Munich or a PSG, you just feel, because they're so strong defensively, that this could be their year, especially as built as a tournament team.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I feel like, you know, I think I expected them to evolve a little bit more in the attack this season. Because they have established themselves as a defensive force, and they don't allow a lot of goals. But I think it was just this, you know, I had an expectation, you know, like you sign a Victor Gyökeres who has, you know, scored so many goals in Portugal. And then, you know, there's all these expectations that come with that. And so it was almost like, oh, it's the same formula. Like, is that enough? Is that going to be enough for Arsenal to either win the Premier League or win the Champions League? And then when I started to see them slip again this season, and you and I were working on morning footy back in the was it the 22-23 season when they were up there? It was the same kind of thing. Like, they had a lead, like it was well within their grasp.
I think it was 5 points before that Manchester City match that I went to with Alexis.
Yes, I remember this so well.
And Rob Holding was starting in the middle of the back, and he just absolutely got tormented by Erling Haaland. And KDB looked like, you know, this world-class center mid who was just making it look too easy, and they just punished Arsenal, and it wasn't even close. And at that moment, I think we both thought, like, we're not. You have to concede we're not that good.
So, okay, is this Arsenal team better than that Arsenal team?
Without a doubt.
Without a doubt. That feeling, because I feel like it's inevitable, you know, like when you're like, oh God, it's happening again. Oh God, it's happening again. How do you manage that as an Arsenal fan? Like, how do you turn that narrative around in your head?
Well, in my head, I just think what's frustrating is when you have a player that you spend a lot of money on in the one area that needed to be improved, which we're talking about at center forward and Victor Gyökeres, in the crucial part of the season, in the second half of the season, when you've given Victor Gyökeres a number of games to get acclimated, to fit in, to score, to do what he's been brought in to do, in the most important game of the season, he's on the bench for a guy that he was brought in to replace in Kai Havertz.
Yeah.
And you're thinking to yourself, why now then? Why all of a sudden think to yourself and make this decision that Victor Gyökeres isn't the guy for us to move forward with when you've played him in all of these important games throughout the season? So it's a little bit frustrating, but at the same time, now that Kai Havertz is hurt, Victor Osimhen has to play.
He has to.
You're figuring how are Arsenal going to get the most out of that number 9 in Gyökeres, and how do they figure out a way to be a little bit more productive in the final third? Because we also heard that, before the season, Trossard would be on the way out.
Yeah.
And he's been arguably one of the more impactful players in the attacking third. So finding the right pieces to the puzzle, I think, has been a challenge. But I remain optimistic because defensively they've been so good.
So, do you trust Mikel Arteta to get this right and make get the most out of this team in order to either win a Premier League title or a Champions League title? Where are you at with Mikel Arteta? Because I feel like in the Arsenal fandom world, it's a very mixed bag at the moment.
You have to be realistic.
Yeah.
At the same time. So what he's done since he's taken over from Unai Emery, who took over from Arsene Wenger, right? You're saying a team that was at best competing for Europa League has all of a sudden been perennial runners up in the Premier League year after year after year. They've been consistent. They've been close to, and they went from, because right now you could say Arsenal play boring attacking football, no doubt. There's not enough risks. There's not enough connectivity and in the attacking third. You don't see enough flair. It's very predictable in a way. Versus when he started, he had Lacazette and Aubameyang, and they were flying all over the place, and they were connecting passes. And Granit Xhaka was dropping deep, and I remember there's a play where they connected like 43 passes before a goal, and you say, "Beautiful!"
Incredible.
Like, I love it, but they weren't winning. So Arteta just said, "You know what? I'm gonna shore up the back line and be so hard to break down and capitalize on the limited moments that we get against opposition." And so there's something to be said for being so consistent. And he's technically winning. He's winning more than he's losing. And he's competing for trophies, but not winning trophies. So eventually you have to win, right? 100%. And I would have said this is the year that they finally do it. They were alive for 4 trophies a month ago.
I know.
So
worst case.
Do I trust him? Trust is is a strong word. See, I trust him to always be in the conversation for these trophies, which a lot can be said for. But do I trust him to actually cross the line? I don't know.
Okay.
And then you say, okay, what's the alternative, Susannah? If it's like Jurgen Klopp, it's like if you sacked Jurgen Klopp, where do you go from there?
Yeah,
you would only do it if the right candidate made himself available, right? So in my mind, it's probably only one guy that you can move to, and that's Luis Enrique. If he wanted to leave the PSG project and he felt, I've done everything, I know he wanted to come to England, you feel like that's the only person that you would absolutely say, we're going to move on from. But other than that, you got to stick with Arteta and see if he can finally win it.
Even if no trophies, and that is worst case scenario this season.
Yeah.
You think Mikel Arteta's job is safe?
Yes.
Okay. And how will Arsenal
how
will fans feel about that?
I'm gonna throw it back at you.
Yeah.
Let's say they get to the Champions League final and they lose.
Okay.
And they finish second in the Premier League. How could you fire a manager for getting to the Champions League final and getting second place?
No, it's fair.
Is this the 4th year in a row or 5th year in a row of second place? How could you fire a manager for that? Because again, if you fire him, you're telling anybody who comes in they need to win now, and if you don't win, you're out. Second place isn't good enough. A final is not good enough. Who can live up to those expectations?
I mean, you're 100% right, and it's lofty expectations. I just wonder, how long the leash is for Arsenal fans who are like, well, when are we going to win? I imagine it would feel incredibly frustrating because getting second place and being in Champions League, every year for the past however many seasons. Yeah, that is that's incredible. That's what you want from your team, but it's the not actually winning a trophy thing that I just wonder, like, where, like, the shelf life of that, and if you have sensed Arsenal fans starting to kind of turn a bit.
Yeah, there is definitely a sense of there's a sense of disappointment when Arsenal have gotten close but haven't been able to figure out what it is that will make the difference.
Yeah.
And I've said all along, they need a striker who can stretch opponents, who can create chances on his own. And similar to the mold of Thierry Henry. Now, you can't just find a Thierry Henry anywhere, but there are a number of players out there who can be just a dual threat.
Who would be your ideal striker for Arsenal right now?
So right now, again, this is a position that isn't being created enough in the world, right? There's a lack of strikers who can run the channels, who can hold up the ball, who can link play, who can be a creative playmaker and stretch the pitch with pace, or an all-around player. Like, you're not seeing too many Harry Kanes in the world,
no.
Right? Then there's Erling Haaland, who has the pace and strength and is just a clinical finisher, but he's not involved in the build-up. But you have to be exceptional to still be that kind of player that can fit into any team.
Yeah.
And you change the tactics because that player's so good. So at the moment, who's realistic? I'd say Victor Osimhen is probably that player that could give you a little bit more.
I like that shout a lot, and I feel like that would the way he plays is would fit very well on Arsenal. I feel like that's listen, Chuck, he's just listen to you. Just listen to Charlie Davies, because it seems so simple. Well, no, but but it's also like, how many we were having this conversation on Morning Footy 2 years ago about Arsenal's need for a center forward. So it's like, why? Like, they haven't gotten it right.
They have not gotten it right.
They haven't gotten it right.
What about a Julian Alvarez? I mean, another one. If you beat Atletico Madrid in this tie, you get to a final, it feels like Julian Alvarez is a player that's willing to make that move back to England. And you're talking about London, and a city that's a little bit more accepting of international cultures, a little bit more diverse. So, for foreigners, it's a little bit easier for their families to adjust in London than it is.
Well,
Manchester.
and he exactly, like, he knows what it's like to play in that league as well. And so I think that would be a huge benefit. Talk to me a little bit about
those are the only two I could think of, by the way.
But I think those
that would be a good fit, great fits.
I think those are really, really great shouts. So Atletico Madrid Champions League semifinals on Wednesday. I mean, this Atletico Madrid team, I love Simeone. Like, I'm this man is unhinged in the best way possible, and I do feel like, the way his Atleti teams play, especially in a Champions League type of setting, like, anything can happen. What's the confidence level of you right now heading into this tie with Atleti, knowing the way Simeone coaches, knowing the way he sets up his team?
Very confident.
Okay.
And I think it's because when you look at how Atletico Madrid play, it actually suits Arsenal in the way that they play. They're very sure they have scored more goals than any other campaign in the Champions League. They're not as defensive as we've seen them in the past. But one, I don't think their back line is that strong. So I don't see them being super difficult to break down or resilient. I think they also lack pace. So, Martinelli on the counter would hurt them. He played extremely well, actually, against them. But in that first leg that we saw in the league phase at home for Arsenal, it was 0-0 at half. It was the 4 second half goals. And I remember Atletico Madrid had some opportunities. I think Julian Alvarez had a great opportunity in the first half. But I'm not fearful of this squad. You can't give them set pieces, and I still think like Antoine Griezmann is still incredible. He's still got all the class. You saw that in the last Champions League tie. He's against Barca, still has that magic. I'm it's almost like, don't tell you he could still play a number of years at the highest level. So Orlando City are getting an absolute gem. But this isn't, we're not playing Bayern Munich or PSG where they have all these threats all over the pitch. You look at, and we've played Bayern Munich and beat them as well. But you're telling me when you have Harry Kane and Olise and Luis Diaz and Musiala, all those players have the individual quality to break you down to hurt you. Now, if you look at Atletico Madrid, Julian Alvarez has that quality, but no one else. So it's more of like a team dynamic fighting and the toughness, but Arsenal have that. I'm really confident in them getting through.
Okay, so let's say best case scenario. You guys make it to a Champions League final. You win. You find a way to keep City at bay in the Premier League.
I love where you're going with this. Keep going.
Okay. Charlie Davies.
The double.
A very, very difficult double. What would that look like for Arsenal fans? How insufferable would Arsenal fans become? How insufferable will Anne Hathaway be on Instagram?
Oh, that's for you. That's for you. But there'll still be the naysayers that come out and say they backed into this. It was boring,
I wouldn't, for the record. I would not. Yeah. There's no way.
But there are people who say, "Oh, he was forced to change. He didn't want to." But at the end of the day, it's just about winning the trophy first. Just win. No one's gonna say 10 years, 15 years from now, 20 years from now, Arsenal, they defended their way to a trophy. It was probably we're talking 20 years ago. Milan were winning Champions League titles and competing for Champions League titles with Catenaccio. And we're talking just defending to the absolute bone, winning 1-0. And I know football has changed and it's evolved, but we were all cheering the defensive effort of a group and how bought in they were and how tactically brilliant they were. So how can we now at this stage, if that means winning a Champions League trophy and winning a Premier League trophy, sit here and criticize, an Arteta who's really constructed a really strong side to win. And then after you win the trophy, then you can evolve, right? And then things can change. But I'm still optimistic.
I mean, so truth be told, like as a neutral, like in this situation, because Liverpool season was over and done with months ago, it's been fun. Like it's entertaining. Anytime there's a title race, like it's entertaining. But I've been feeling for my Arsenal fan friends. I'm like, oh man,
I appreciate you.
I really.
I was like, should we sign Darwin Núñez?
Get him. My guy is rotting away in Saudi. Like, go get him. I love Darwin. I feel like that guy still can contribute. He runs around like a madman. Talk about like getting involved in hold up play. Like, get that guy on the pitch. Go sign him. Okay, Chuck, before I let you go, I have to talk just a little bit of US Open Cup with you because we've got US Open Cup round of 16 happening this week. And New England Revolution will be playing Orlando, which will be really, really fun. And New England has been kind of one of these like surprises this season. A really nice result against Miami, 1-1 draw at the weekend. How much do you think Marko Mitrović is prioritizing US Open Cup? Because I know you love it. You know I love this competition. MLS has kind of turned its back on it a little bit, but I feel like for a first-year head coach, winning something like the US Open Cup would be such a notch in the belt. So I'm curious to get your thoughts on where they're at with this US Open Cup competition.
And I know One Knoxville prioritizes
prioritizes
this competition. So let's go,
Let's
Giant
go.
Slayers. So shout out to Ian Fuller. He's doing an incredible job with One Knoxville. So I make sure to highlight
I will
that
tell
every
him
time.
he's going to be on
Every
this
time.
episode, and I'm going to tell
Yes.
him you said that.
Please
Chuck.
do, because every time I'm in studio for US Open Cup, I make sure everyone knows
You guys
that
are
this
so
guy
great.
is killing it.
Jen
And
Calhoun sent me a clip of you guys like celebrating when they won the penalty shootout, and it was so sweet. And I sent it to
It's
his whole
amazing.
family.
It's
They were
amazing.
like freaking out. It was so great. You guys are the best.
So I'm sure you'll be moving in the next 2 years or so
Yeah.
to an MLS city
We'll
near
see.
you. But no, I think this would be incredible for Marko Mitrović to win the US Open Cup in his first year, and definitely you can't prioritize, I think, the US Open Cup and MLS anymore. You have to do both, because if you get to a US Open Cup final and lose, and you've done that to jeopardize your regular season, let's say you miss out on the playoffs, well, that might be it for you. That might be curtains. That's
Yeah.
the type of pressure now in Major League Soccer. Coaches don't get 3, 4, 5
They do
years
not.
to see results anymore. So I have to tell you, watching the Revs and calling their games, it's been a little bit of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. They play for 45 minutes, and the first 45 minutes, they've been terrible at times. So you're thinking, all right, this isn't going to last. You can't sustain this type of performance and picking up these points and, giving up opportunities like this. It's going to catch up with you eventually. But after this last match with Inter Miami, it was a masterclass. And I give so much respect to Marko in coming into this club with so much history and never really getting over the line and winning an MLS Cup, but being to 5. And the expectations are to win. That's the Crafts. They could care less about having a team that just gets in the playoffs. They've had that. They've been to three finals in a row, I think, in the 2004, 5, 6 or 5, 6, 7 and losing. They got to the finals with my squad and lost. So you got to win the trophy. That's the type of coach that they're bringing in to develop young talent and win. And so he's really had a strong and encouraging start. And the best part about Marko Mitrović is there's no ego. Every single person I've come in contact with, and I know everybody who works at the stadium. I have a great relationship with all the supporters and the reporters, and you go on and on, of all of the people that come in contact with the club head coach. They all say the same thing. He treats them all with respect. And families, he makes a strong connection with the families. He gets to know everyone. It's not just talk.
Yeah.
He's genuinely curious about fans. So he's made that emotional connection, and the players have fed off of that. So he's got them to fight for the badge, but also fight for him. And in doing so, now he's created a healthy culture, which it's sometimes very difficult to create in this landscape. But in doing so, I think he's really put himself in a good spot to at least compete for trophies this year.
Amazing. Charlie Davies, thank you so much for taking the time to join me.
Aye, Captain.
Aye, Capitan.
It's so good to see you.
I
Let's
love
go,
you, Chuck.
Sooz.
So good to see you. And hey, man, I keeping my fingers crossed for your Arsenal loving heart. Hang in there, buddy. Hang in there.
I'm hanging in there.
It's gonna be
To
okay.
the end. Yeah.
Love you, Chuck.
Love you too.
Oh, we love Chuck D. He gave you such a nice shout out.
Love the guy. Miss him.
I
We would
miss
see him every day. Really.
When we logged on, I was like, I used to see you every morning. Every morning.
You must miss his energy.
I miss his.
Yeah.
He was part of. I mean, because you saw me at 4 a.m.
I did every morning.
How would you describe my energy level at 4 a.m., babe?
It helped after half a cup of coffee, but you love sleeping,
I do.
and I think it just took some time, and
Yeah.
I just gave you that time.
You did. You were amazing. And Charlie, I would walk into the studio and just be like a zombie, and I'd sit down in the hair and makeup chair. And Charlie would do one of two things. He would either come in and scare the shit out of me, like jump scare, which gives you a little jolt,
especially at that time.
or he would come and wrap me up in a big hug.
Yeah.
Charlie Davies gives the best hug, world-class hugs. And I saw him and I was like, God, I miss a Charlie Davies embrace.
Yeah. I got the
guy.
wrong end of the stick in Bogota. If you remember when he tackled me?
Oh my God.
And my coffee went all over me. Yeah.
Yes, we were in Bogota, Colombia for Nico Cantor's wedding. Walking down the street, Ian and I had just gotten coffee and we were just going out for a nice little stroll. And Charlie Davies runs up behind Ian.
That's a little scary.
And I mean, well, you know, we're in a
country.
foreign country. You just don't know what's going on. And you were ready to like throw down too.
I don't, you know, I'm a fighter. I was more scared. You know, I get scared. I'm a scaredy cat. Let's face it. But then I saw who it was, and I'm like, "Shock you."
He's a sensitive boy.
I'll admit it.
Baby,
I am not tough.
That's what I'm here for.
I know. Trust me. We have a perfect yin and yang, babe.
I protect you. Don't mess. Don't mess.
Yeah.
No, Chuck, thank you so much. You are the best. And I love your optimism. I feel like you're very level-headed about this whole Arsenal situation. So we'll just have to see how it unfolds. But we're thinking of him. We're thinking of all of our Arsenal loving friends.
Mm-hmm.
All right, babe, this is exciting because you listen to Kickback Committee?
Of course I do.
Okay, good. So you know that we do like a reality TV
I know it all.
conversation at the end.
I do.
Which is great because I love a little reality TV.
What is your favorite reality TV show?
Well, Top Chef.
Yeah, I knew that.
Top Chef for sure. But you have reintroduced me to Survivor, which is now like really climbing up the ranks.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's that. Before we talk a little Survivor.
Yes.
There's a little reality show happening down in Miami on Thursday nights called Baller League.
Yes.
Which I have to it's the best reality show in soccer right now, if I'm honest.
Yes.
Right? You've been, as a devoted husband and a fan of your wife, I'm the host of the Baller League broadcast. Ian's been paying attention. So it's a 6v6 kind of unhinged brand of soccer, but it's tremendously entertaining. And the big draw, I think, are the managers. So they have like celebrity managers. So J Balvin, Ronaldinho, Drewski, Usain Bolt, Odell Beckham Jr., iShowSpeed, Marlon, AMP. So those are streamers, by the way.
Yeah, trust me, I had no idea. I knew who
we didn't know.
Usain Bolt,
I know the whole streamer world is just, it's wild. There are more fans that show up for iShowSpeed than for Usain Bolt, and I'm like, my mind is blown. Yeah. But what are your impressions of Baller League? So they've done this in the UK, they've done it in Germany. This is their first season doing it in the USA. Yeah. What do you think of it?
Well, one, I get to see you on TV, and you're doing a great job. So it's really entertaining. The whole staff, you guys are doing an awesome job.
Thanks. It's fun.
Yeah. No, it's entertaining. And the reason it is because soccer, football, 11 versus 11, real football, is so tactical now.
Yeah.
It is. And that just kind of takes it all out. And it goes back to the roots. It's a little futsal-esque. And I just love that it's much more personality-wise for the players. Show us what you've got. Combine. Be entertaining.
Yeah.
And it is entertaining. I mean, Speed came in on a horse the other day. A horse. No, it's entertaining. It is entertaining. So I'm enjoying it.
Thanks. No, it's fun. That was my shameless plug. So on top of my Kickback Committee hosting duties,
you're doing great.
Thanks.
Keep going.
Thanks, my love.
Yeah, baby.
I appreciate it. No, it's a lot of fun. It's Thursday nights. Our streams start at 5:30 on Baller League USA YouTube, Twitch, and it's also on CBS Sports Golazo. So your girl is back on CBS, which is
Were you ever starstruck by anyone? I mean, Ronaldinho?
Completely. Usain Bolt.
J
Balvin.
He has, one of his songs has been listened to over, what is it, 2.5? No.
It's like hundreds of billions.
Yeah, it's like trillion.
He is the coolest.
Yeah. Awesome.
The coolest, most down-to-earth guy. Yeah, it's really fun. So check it out, guys. All right, babe, Survivor. Ooh. We love Survivor in the Fuller household. I have him to thank for it. I watched it like early on when it first started, and then I kind of fell off, and you brought it back into my life. And now it is, I mean, we live, like, we like spend each week being like, oh God, when is Survivor night? So let's talk about the the latest episode.
Let's do it.
So, if you guys watch Survivor, it is Survivor 50, which is an all-star cast. So it is basically like a bunch of people who have played past seasons. Some have won. They were all like memorable.
All-star-ish.
All-star-ish. Yeah.
Because Boston Rob's on.
Yeah.
But other than that, some
also,
great personalities.
Exactly. So it's been kind of an interesting season. And there's been, like this year, they're allowing fans to dictate a lot of the challenges. Like there's a lot of fan input. The celebs are getting involved. Like there's a Billie Eilish Idol situation.
Jimmy Kimmel had a
was it Jimmy Kimmel or Jimmy Fallon? I can't remember.
I always,
one of the Jimmys.
Yeah, I screwed that up.
One of the Jimmys had like an advantage played for him.
Yeah.
So it's been kind of a blown up version of Survivor. But spoiler alert, we can give a spoiler. Last episode, Christian was voted out. He is a very quirky, academic nerd, but kind of like lovable. But
what do you mean kind of lovable? We're nerds, so
totally.
You just feel that kind of.
Well, my issue was that like I was really rooting for Christian at the beginning.
He kept making mistakes.
For a guy as smart as he is, he kept making mistakes.
Yeah, but it's a social game, and sometimes it's hard.
But here's the thing: if for anyone who's watched Survivor, you do have to play both sides.
Yes.
At some, you're going to be having conversations. You're going to be telling one person one thing, lying to their face, and then going to another person and basically telling them the exact opposite. I mean, that is the way it's played.
Yes,
but Christian was so careless in the way he was doing it, and I was like, for a guy so smart, you wrote your own demise, buddy.
History repeats itself. He did that prior. Coach did the same thing prior. Q did the same. I mean, history repeats itself.
Yeah.
And that's why we love Miss Cirie.
Oh, Cirie is my favorite.
Understands that it's just get through each vote.
Yes.
If someone's name is out there, don't rock the boat. We don't have to do anything. I've got my 2 or 3 people, and I'm good otherwise.
What did she say? She said so. She was like, as long as the target's not on my back, I'm good. And I was like,
yes, but then she started making rice, if you remember, and the girl started asking her how.
Emily, this is so good.
Yeah. Oh, do you have enough water? Are you sure you need that much water? Is that too much rice? And Cirie almost snapped.
It was amazing because Cirie's looking at this girl like, you don't think. By the way, this is Cirie's like 5th time playing Survivor.
And she doesn't snap.
She does not snap. But part of the thing on Survivor is that they'll give you rice, like as like
earned. But yes,
you have to earn the rice, but at least you have some sort of sustenance in your body. So Cirie has done Survivor 5 times. So she's like, number one, you think I don't know how to cook rice at this point? And she was basically, Emily was kind of micromanaging her rice, and Cirie almost popped off. Yeah. And she was like, she don't shut up about the rice. I'm putting her name down tonight. And we both of us we
burst out laughing.
Bah! It was great.
She was great.
Cirie rules. Do you know remember she was on Traitors?
Oh yeah.
Like this woman is a reality.
But she's not just
TV competition queen.
She won Traitors. She's won
Traitors.
I mean, she wins. She's smart.
She's so good, and everyone likes her. Like, so it's like they're drawn to her. They gravitate towards her. They respect her. They want to listen to her.
It sounds like someone I know. I would love to see you on Survivor.
I would last 10 hours.
Yes, it's because of the sleep aspect of it. If you had a proper mattress, air conditioning, I think you would win it every single time. I'm just saying.
I don't know. I feel like I would snap. My social game would it would start out really strong, and then I would crumble. Like I would get so pissed off.
I've never seen you snap, so that would be a first.
Wow.
It's the truth. I mean, maybe on other people, but that's okay.
Oh, it's okay. We love and support each other. No, I told you, Walker Zimmerman, fellow committee member, Walker Zimmerman, thank you very much, is a huge Survivor fan.
I mean, Walker's fun. I tend to think that people that watch Survivor are fun.
He is desperate to be a contestant on Survivor.
Let's do it. How do we get him on?
I feel like I know enough people at CBS.
Oh, you think? Someone who worked at CBS for years?
Well, yeah, but I was not involved in the high level meetings.
Okay.
I'm just saying. I could ask somebody who could ask somebody who could maybe ask somebody.
Let's make it happen.
that might be able to facilitate.
Maybe Jeff Probst is listening right now.
What if Jeff Probst loves soccer? We don't know.
I think he probably does.
Can we also talk about Jeff Probst this season?
Yeah.
He's being real extra.
He's trying hard.
He's really trying.
Why do you think that is?
My guy wants the Emmy.
Yeah.
For season 50. Well, what did he do? What did he do when we were watching? He rapped.
Yeah.
Oh, and then he participated in a challenge.
Yeah.
So it was basically this challenge where the contestants is for an immunity idol, and you have to hold this bar, and it is attached to another bar with a bucket that has a quarter of your pre-survivor body weight.
Yeah.
And you have to like hold it without letting the bucket drop. And Jeff Probst did it. He basically challenged 4 of the people. And if he could stay longer than any of the 4, they wouldn't get rice. But
listen, I'm not an ageist, but Probst isn't a spring chicken. I know he's being fed and the others aren't. We've got some athletes.
Oh, I know.
Survivor. Those people are tough.
I think Jeff fancies himself. I think Jeff was actually a little disappointed with his performance.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a...
It was weak sauce.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
That was fun.
But Probst is really
He's
going for it.
He's
okay.
Back.
So we gotta find a way to get Walker on.
Yep. Let's make it happen.
I know.
He's going to win, too.
Walker would win.
I mean, he's been a captain of multiple teams
100%.
in different locker rooms.
He'd be great in challenges.
Oh, my God.
People like him. Like,
Kid
he's
out
a
of
very
Georgia?
likable...
Come on. If you're out of Georgia like
know.
that...
He would. Walker Zimmerman would absolutely slay.
Yeah. People love him. I mean, yeah. Could he lie to everyone?
Walker? Ooh, that's a good one. He would have... No, he knows the game. Like, he knows that you have to lie. Like, that is inherently part of Survivor.
Yeah. And I feel like even being a captain, sometimes you have to build someone up. Well,
what did you say? Propaganda.
It's propaganda. No, being truthful and honest is part of our job, for sure. But, yeah, making everyone feel good on Saturday is really important.
You do it well,
Ready
Coach.
to go. I'm doing okay. The guys play. They're the ones that win games.
I'm so stoked. I'm so stoked for Wednesday.
Me too.
I really appreciate you coming on.
I appreciate you.
This was fun. What did you think?
I enjoyed it.
Would you do a podcast with your wife?
You guys are doing a great job with the committee.
I'm not saying
let's stick to what was
in
working
lieu
here,
of
babe.
committee. I'm just saying in addition to one day.
I would do anything for you.
Oh my gosh. What a man.
And it's just the truth.
You're the best, babe.
What are you going to do?
A+ coach, A+ husband,
Well,
A+ podcaster.
First day I've ever had.
Man of many talents. Thank you, babe. Thank you, Charlie Davies, for joining us. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, for listening, all the things. Make sure, once again, you follow us on all the socials and check out all our other podcasts, Soccer Wise, First Touch Weekly, Open Mic. Download and subscribe. Find us on SiriusXM. Most importantly, tell your friends, because sharing is caring.
Yeah.
Thanks. Guys, you're the best. Have a fantastic week. Go One Knox. Go One Knox. Cupset, baby. We'll see you next time.